Say, I'm vegan.
I'm vegan.
And I love it.
Love it.
Why are we vegan?
Because I want to eat applesauce.
Because you want to eat applesauce?
Yes.
Yeah, do we eat animals?
No.
No. Animals are our friends?
Yes.
Yes. We don't eat animals, right?
We don't eat animals.
No.
Just friends.
They're friends, right? Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into my channel. So I've been vegan for 3 months, and I will be vegan for 4 months on April 11th. So a little under 2 weeks, I will be 4 months vegan. And in this time, as many of you may know from following my transition to a vegan lifestyle from a standard American diet, my family has also gone vegan with me. So it's not just me. I'm vegan along with my husband and my 2 children who are 4 and 2. So I've had an amazing vegan experience thus far. I would not change it for the world. I have lost a considerable amount of weight without really putting that much effort into it. My family has also lost weight. You can see it in my children that they've lost weight. My husband has lost weight. We all feel healthier. In fact, this winter was the first winter that none of us got sick. I kid you not. None of us got sick this winter. Not even my children, and they go to daycare where everyone around them is getting sick. None of us got sick. We feel so good, and we are really, really excited about seeing what the future holds about our vegan journey. And honestly, my husband and I, when we talk about our vegan lifestyle, we're looking into being more eco-conscious, and we do consider animal cruelty a lot more than we did in the very beginning. But in this vegan journey, because we're human, there are things that you miss when you go vegan. And vegan is in many ways restrictive because you're not able to eat every single thing that exists, but it's not restrictive because there's still so many varieties and options. But a few things I can say that I absolutely hate about being vegan. And when I say these are things I hate about being vegan, I don't know if it's necessarily about the lifestyle or if it's just about the world that we live in. Anyway, so the first thing that I absolutely hate about being vegan is the constant checking of everything. You cannot go to the grocery store anymore and just be like, I want this, I want that, let me get this, I want 2 of these. You cannot do that. Anything that you go to the grocery store, unless it's coming from the produce section or you can see blatantly that it's like a frozen vegetable or frozen berries, you have to read it. So even things that you might not even be considering, like marinades. I remember picking up a marinade that I was going to make tofu in. I was picking up a General Stewart marinade to marinate my tofu. I was gonna fry some tofu. I was so excited. I was gonna do it all on my own because normally I just go to the Chinese store and I just order it. And I said, why don't I just make it? So I have picked up a marinade. It was a General Stewart marinade, just assuming that it would just be spices and salt and maybe a little bit of sugar, whatever. And my husband reminded me, make sure it's vegan. And I was like, why wouldn't it be vegan? And lo and behold, it wasn't vegan. And there's so many things. You can pick up a vegetable soup, for goodness sake, and it cannot be vegan. You can pick up so many different items that you would think, why would there be milk in there? Why would there be an egg in there? Why would there be butter in there? You know, so many different things. And they're not vegan. They're vegetarian, but they're not vegan. So I hate the constant checking of things. So if you decide you're gonna go vegan, be prepared for that because you're not gonna be able to run into the grocery store unless you know your vegan staples. We're at that point now where we're definitely more conscious of like what the vegan staples are, and I know like this is the soup I get because I've invested the time sitting in the aisle reading the ingredient list. I've done that. So unless you're, when you're deciding to go vegan, be prepared for that because your first month or 2 will be a lot of time being spent in the grocery. You won't be able to just run in and run out like you're used to, and you're gonna have to read those labels. The second thing that I hate about being vegan is that there's very few places you can just run in and grab something quick when you need it. If ever we go out for a family outing, we do our best because we have small children to pack drinks, to pack snacks, and even sometimes if we know we're gonna be out for a very long time, we'll pack like a lunch, a cold lunch. But there are times when things just happen. You're out a lot later than you thought. The kids were hungrier than you expected. They ate through all the snacks. They drank all the drinks. They ate the lunch, and you still haven't returned home. And I hate that there's so few places that we can go to get anything. We have gone to McDonald's on occasion, and we'll just get french fries because we're like, they need to eat something, and kids love french fries, so that's good. And in Long Island where we live, a lot of the Burger Kings do have veggie burgers, and we were so elated when we found that out. It wasn't even like highlighted on the menu like a number 1 through 6 and one of them is the veggie burger. It was like in the small little section where it says salads, and then they had garden burger, and we were like, when did they start selling this? Like, we had no idea because it's so hidden. Like, they don't want to promote that they have it. I feel like it doesn't have to be number 1, because you know at Burger King the number 1 is the Whopper. Like, we understand that they're the home of the Whopper, but number 1 is a Whopper, number 2 is like a double Whopper, number 3 is like a Whopper Junior. Can't number 4 be like the Garden Whopper or something? I mean, it should be really accessible, especially if you're a vegan, to know, hey, if I'm ever in a pickle and I need to get to some food, I can actually go to Burger King. It may not be the healthiest option that you want to eat, but it is an option. I feel like they should make that well known. But when we go to other places, like in the city, we were in Brooklyn, their Burger Kings don't have veggie garden burgers. So, you know, there's few places you can just run in. Chipotle is a great place to go, but Chipotles aren't everywhere. Like in Manhattan, Chipotles are like every couple of blocks you can find a Chipotle. But where we live in Long Island, there's one Chipotle, and that's it. I've not seen many more within my local area so that it's accessible. And there's very few places where you can go to get things that are vegan. So as a vegan, I hate that you can't really find food as easily as you would want to when you're in a jam and you're in a situation. The third thing that I hate as a vegan is going to outings, family outings and social outings where you're at someone's house. Nobody in this world who is not vegan is going to accommodate you. They just don't know how. I was invited to something by my church, and I said, you know, we're vegan. Will there be food for us? And she was like, yeah, we have macaroni and cheese. We'll have macaroni and cheese there. Like, obviously, she's equating vegan with vegetarian. And honestly, a lot of people do that. And I can't even be mad at them because people are way more familiar with people being vegetarian than being vegan. And often when people hear vegan, they hear the words vegan, but their brain conceptualizes it as vegetarian. They don't eat meat. And that's all they're thinking. They're not thinking, well, she's also not going to eat the cheese on a macaroni and cheese because she doesn't eat animal byproduct as well. Or she's not going to eat the pizza because there's cheese on it. You know, things like that. So I hate that, you know, going to these family outings or social gatherings with, you know, places like that where food is being cooked potluck style, because honestly, there is like almost absolutely nothing you can eat. The only way that we've been able to kind of like navigate that is by just having the carbohydrates. So we've gone to birthday parties and other types of social gatherings like the church, and we'll just have to eat the rice dishes. And thankfully, we live in an environment where a lot of people are from the islands, so they don't just make plain white rice or plain brown rice. It's usually with like a form of bean, like a pigeon pea or a red bean or a kidney bean. So we actually get to have rice and protein together, which is really, really dope. But it is very, very difficult to go to these type of social things as a vegan. It is so hard. The fourth thing that I hate as a vegan is people trying to tell me that it's bad for my children to be vegan. Really? I don't know why people are so afraid of not eating meat. I don't get it. Like when I was a vegetarian for 4 years before becoming vegan, I wasn't afraid of not eating meat because I felt like I would lack nutrients or my body would like combust because I didn't get meat. I wasn't afraid of that. I was afraid of how I would handle my desire and my taste for the satisfaction of meat, because meat is satisfying. Meat tastes good. I can still vividly remember the flavors of meat. They've not disappeared from my repertoire and my brain and my mind. Like, I know what it tastes like. I remember the feeling of having meat in my mouth and chewing it and swallowing it and enjoying the fullness, the excessive fullness of my body when I ate a good plate that was balanced with meat. So that was never an issue for me. But now it's like, when people know that my children are vegan, it's almost as if they're judging my decision as a parent as though I am a bad mom. And don't know exactly what the fear is about not giving children meat, because whenever I ask questions to the people who are concerned about my children's well-being, they often say, you know, it's important for children to get protein. So one of the ways that I've been trying to counteract the concern of people who are worried about my children not eating meat is I ask them, well, what's the main concern that you have? Why is it an issue for my children not to eat meat? And normally they say kids need protein. And, you know, actually they're not wrong. We all need protein, not just kids. But then I remind them that the amount of protein that children and any human being needs, they can get it from a lot of different places. And, you know, when I say, do you know that one potato has almost 8 grams of protein? They usually look like this. And I'm like, yeah, because my little ones are so small, they won't be able to eat an entire potato. But the fact that somebody who's concerned about my kids not getting protein doesn't even know one potato has almost 8 grams of protein in it literally leaves me like, you have no place. You don't even know about basic nutrition. I don't know everything there is to know about nutrition, but because I am a mother and I am concerned about my children's well-being, a lot more than you, of course, who's worried about them not eating protein. Where were you when they were growing up? Where were you worried about them when I was having them? Where were you worried about them when we were like, when they go to school? Are you worried about them then? But as soon as I change their diet, now all of a sudden you're so concerned, right? So you don't even know that a potato has protein in it. And then when I ask them another question, you know, what else are you worried about? Well, you know, if they're not drinking milk, then they're not getting calcium. Okay, why do they need calcium? The thing and I'm not trying to be like snotty or, you know, like to be someone who has a very bad attitude or to act like, you know, I don't want to be that person, but you're worried about them not having calcium, but why do they need calcium? Okay, even if you could tell me why my children need calcium, can you tell me any other places that we can get calcium from, or is it only milk? Calcium comes from other places, everybody. If you're worried about protein and you're worried about calcium, don't be. I just hate that there's this concern for children going vegan without really understanding that there's so many different ways for people to get their nutrition without having to eat meat and to drink milk. There's so many ways, and you can look these things up. This is not hidden information. It's not. And the amount of meat that my children were eating at their ages 4 and 2, how much meat were they really eating? Are they eating an entire steak? Absolutely not. Are they eating an entire chicken breast? Absolutely not. So the little pieces of chicken that they were getting in their food is easily substituted by another form of protein. Please like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Of course, subscribe to my channel. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye.
Bye.